Hey Jeremy, how you doing? Thought I'd log on for a second. What's happening? Haven't heard from you in a while. Oh, you just got off? Oh, okay, good for you. Don't you do custom cabinetry or something? Hey Taz, a benign. What's going on? Hey Ron, yeah, so should I. Still kind of early. We'll stay up here and figure out the world's problems. Yeah, just hanging out. Thought I'd log on before I went to bed. Hey, no shit, huh? Wow. Now, what street you off of, Jeremy? Hey, thank you. Am I pronouncing it Taz, Bina? 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 Yeah, thanks a lot, man. I'm getting to the point where I spend my whole day deleting nasty messages. I used to get like 25, then it went up to 50. Okay, Taz. Then it was around 100. Then I've got a lot of new subscribers lately. It's around 200 and 250. It's crazy. It isn't because my content's changed either. I think YouTube's a bunch of fake bullshit, to tell you the truth. Bunch of all fake numbers. Wow, Jeremy, what street's that you low off of? Oh yeah, there's so many weirdos on YouTube. It's unbelievable. Clearly, nice quiet night out. Jeremy, where's that at where you live? I forget. Ron, you gonna move up north or not? Oh, okay. Wichita. Shit, I thought that was a Wizard of Oz. Here you're talking about drive-bys. Hey, Taz, no kidding. Auckland, New Zealand. Interesting. Thank you. So great how you can get on here and just talk to people. Yeah, that's about it, Jeremy. Everywhere is like that now. Taz, you see any of those really beautiful birds out there in New Zealand flying around? I'm a big bird fan. New Zealand and Australia just have killer birds. They're so beautiful, they don't look real. Hey, do you really, Taz? A homeless problem, huh? So this looks like it's a worldwide issue. See, we're in the dark over here about anything that goes on there. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Jeremy. Now, Taz, do you see? Do you like? Do people feed these birds? Do they just come up in their backyard, or are they just way out in the middle of the forest someplace? Yeah, you're right, Jeremy. Beginning of the end. I agree. I totally agree with you. How about like if you live like in a city, Taz? Would you get any of those beautiful birds in the city, or are they just too far out in the woods? Oh, okay. Yeah, it seemed too good to be true. So interesting how birds migrate around the world and the distances they travel. Taz, what time is it there where you're living? Oh, okay. Yeah, we have a lot of turkeys up here. I just saw a bunch of them the other day going down to Saginaw. Probably 100 of them out in the field. Peru, no kidding? Wow.
You've got mail.
Awesome. Welcome. Yeah, I'm doing okay. A little bit below average, I would say. Hey, you're in the hood, South Demon? Australia. Welcome, Sarah Rose. Oh, 4/12 Monday. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Ron, I have it. I have it because I gave it out to a bunch of people where I still was doing some consulting, and for $5 a month or whatever it is, I've just kind of kept it, but I don't use it for any of my serious stuff. Anytime I send it to someone young, I always catch a rash of bullshit. Edmonton, Alberta. All right. Cool. You have any homeless out there, South Demon? This homeless issue seems to be worldwide. Yeah, I know it, Ron. It's crazy, isn't it? I should get rid of it. I did get rid of it for a while, but people like that don't contact me very often over that. It's not worth risking never hearing from them and then being too lazy to look me up. Oh, okay, South Demon. Cool. I think the world's in a huge nosedive. It's crazy. Hey, Ron, it's pretty cool how we get these people from these distant areas, isn't it? Especially Taz. Taz, it's hour before midnight here. I guess the world is round. Oh, okay. I've got Gmail. I got a Yahoo account, AOL. I got 4 or 5 emails. That's right, Taz. Hey, Taz, how's your insurance issue over there? Like, if people are working, do they have decent insurance, or is your medical care paid by your country, or how's that work? I don't do that Twitter stuff, Demon. I can give you my email if you want. Wow, that's crazy. The whole world's failing. I'm not very religious, but if you read Revelations, it sure looks like it's heaven there. Wow, Taz, huh? Hey, Sarah Rose. Hey, Ken. Yeah, we just tuned in here late, Ken, talking to New Zealand, Canada, Kansas, West Branch, Detroit. This is so great compared to the old days. You just have to turn some bullshit on TV, and now look what we can do. Georgia, all right, Ken. What do you got, about 60 degrees down there? All right. No, I don't think so. It is for the people that don't live in Detroit that come down there to go to a sporting event or eat a nice dinner, but not for the residents themselves. Yeah, I figured it'd be that down there around there, Ken. You know where Woodstock, Georgia is, Ken? Yeah, I had a house down there about 20 years ago. 25 actually. Wish I'd have kept it. That place went berserk about 5 years later. Hey, no kidding, Music Man. Yeah, it's a cool area. Yeah, Campbell, they've torn most of it down, those buildings down on Fort and on Campbell. That one kind of hotel building on the service drive of 75 on the south side is still there, but that's about it. Yeah, Ron, you're right. All right. Huh. Yeah, this is depressing. I used to just think it was relegated to Detroit, but seems like it's all over the world now. I'm from Flat Rock originally, Ron. Ron, what high school did you go to? Ron is in Ron is in Detroit. I'm up in West Branch, about 200 miles north of Detroit. Hey, you went to St. Agatha's? No kidding. Wow, crazy. Ken, you ever get down to Madison, Georgia? Yeah, I got a guy that I know from eBay that has a box making company there. All right, Jeremy. Hey, glad you checked in. Thank you. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. Taz, do you work? No, okay. What type work do you do? Yeah, good idea, Ken. I've spent a lot of time down around Cleveland. I love Cleveland. Oh, okay, Ron. Ron, you still a practicing Catholic? Oh, construction drawing. That's kind of cool. Oh, okay. I've done a lot of photography down around there. Went to Cleveland Clinic myself a couple times. Okay, Ron. All that young brainwashing, Ron, and you still fell by the wayside? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's part of the curriculum. Oh, permit drawings. That's kind of interesting. Something different. Taz, did you go to college here in New Zealand? It's not videotaping. That's just, I'm in a condominium, and that's the shot out in the front lawn area, Chris. It's just a webcam, actually. We're just talking, Chris. Chatting, talking about where we're from, and that kind of thing. Nobody's high, Chris. Oh, okay. Now, Taz, out there, is there a difference between a licensed architect and just someone that uses the designation as an architect that has maybe a degree in architecture? Because over here, a certified licensed architect is a whole nother category. Oh, okay. All right, Ron, way to go. Ron, are you still working or are you retired? Oh, okay, Taz, yeah. That's a big gray area here. People pass themselves off as architect, but they're not licensed architects. They have degrees in architectural drawing. Big difference. What time you got to get up in the morning, Ron? So, Taz, did you have Monday off or did you get off early? Yeah, big difference. That's right. Yep. Oh my God, my dad had jobs like that. I'm a late night guy. I hate getting up early in the morning. Oh, that a girl. Hey, JU, no kidding. Where do you live, JU? Where are you at? Yeah, we got about maybe 9 or 10 inches on the ground, Ken. JU, where are you going to school? Oh, wow, good for you. Did you apply to a lot of programs? Yeah, I don't blame you, Ken. You made a good move. I didn't really like it when I lived down there. I hated going to Atlanta. It was too hot. Oh, that's cool. So you're going to be a veterinary tech, right? Yeah, Taz. I just, I grew up not far from there, and I've always been into photography. I always like talking to people. And I would run into those women when I'd be getting a coffee or buying a newspaper. And they always were super pleasant, and I knew what they were doing. I saw them feeding birds, feeding stray cats, and I always thought, well, I'm going to strike up a conversation with these women someday. I'd see them all the time. The women in my early videos, I would like see them all the time when I was in Detroit. And one day I just went up to one and said, hey, I'd be glad to pay you for an interview, but I'm just curious about your life, how you ended up here, and what the day-to-day activities are like, and if you'd like to get out of it, etc. It all started there. I wouldn't even have a channel if it wasn't for those women. It's about 4 of those videos took off, or we probably wouldn't even be talking. 3 years before anybody watched them at all. 100 views, 150 views. Oh, good for you, JU. So it just interested me, I guess. Interested me a lot. Interested me. It was just to see young women in the middle of the night walking down a dark expressway service drive with a drug problem, getting in cars with strangers, just like was a mind blower. That's it, Ron. Curiosity. It was just so off the charts from like where I came from. I mean, this is something you would think you'd witness from your hotel room in a third world country. Yeah, unimaginable. And over half the women that I've interviewed in the last 4 years are dead, murdered or overdoses, or fentanyl put in heroin. Oh, sorry about that, JU. Pensacola, Florida sucks. That whole state. I wouldn't wish Florida on anybody from the top all the way to the bottom and from the east to the west. Where are you from, Taz? Taz, where are you from? Ethiopian, interesting. Did you see that Ethiopian jet crashed? I bet you have. Yeah, that's interesting. How'd you end up making it to New Zealand? Yeah, Florida sucks, Ron. That's the same kind of airplane, that 737 stretch that crashed about a month ago. They're going to be over all over that. It seemed like an autopilot failure, which kept following a bad gyro. That is so interesting, Taz. Taz, now I'm interested in how that went down. Were you like recruited? How did that work that you became aware of these possibilities, and how did you qualify? Or did you have those skills before you left? And did you go with any family? Oh, okay. Now, how does someone from a third world country in general get a degree in engineering? Did you come from like average or above average income family? Were your parents professionals? Because it always interests me in third world country. They say Mexico is not, but I think it is. How they maintain their professional schools with such a high concentration of unskilled population. Oh, okay, good. Now, are you a citizen of Ethiopia and New Zealand? Not me, Julian. I wish I was. Hey, Jen. Yeah, luck has a lot to do with it. Just a citizen. So we have a green card. What do you have? A work permit to work in New Zealand? And once you get your experience in New Zealand, could you go back to Ethiopia and work, or there's just not enough work there for you? Good for you, Julian. Takes all kinds. We recruit diversity on this webcam chat board. Permanent residency. Do you long for Ethiopia? Would you like to go back there? Or are you happy where you're living now? Thanks, Julian. You just figure you have a better quality of life in New Zealand? There's some really good YouTube videos of some female Ethiopian pilots. Yeah, probably true. Human rights, yeah. How you doing, Positive Crystal? Now, Taz, would you have an equivalent of an MBA or a master's degree? Like you would have an advanced degree, wouldn't you, Taz? Jen, you're up awful late. Oh, Julian, what were you in prison for? Good girl, baby. Good girl. Good girl, honey. Good girl, honey. Four days a week. Oh, okay. Yeah, I bet that, Julian. Hey, Shantae. Yeah, Taz, it's sad. It's sad. Cassie's doing fine. She's in a relationship, working full time, back with her family, and doing great. It's not a parking lot. It's the front of a condominium. It's a yard. Hey, Tim, boy, I'll tell you, Tim, you got good ears, man. Yes, you're right. Hey, Killian, good for you. Congratulations. Oh, this has been one of the better chats. Tell you that, Chad. I appreciate you checking in. This is great. Love chatting with you. Yeah, the microphone's even facing the wrong way, and it's right up against the window and behind the computer screen. Private detective my whole life, Chaz. Been a private detective my whole life. Hey, Chuyam, what were you in prison for? Yeah, they do run. I never do it late at night. Oh, that's cool, Ju. Interesting. Ju, you got any ideas for what I could do to help these people? I'm all ears. Oh, okay. Now, Chuyam, did it just happen to be a judge's house that you burglarized, or was it because it was a judge? Okay, Jen, that's good. You get up and enjoy a nice chat. Yes, you got to hustle for the work, Ron. It's a pain in the ass. I really made out in the first agency I sold. The second one I did okay, and the market's kind of dwindled. Oh, okay, Julian. Interesting. Now, Julian, where do you live? Oh, Positive Crystal. That's great. Good for you. I did. I got a degree in criminal justice, which is a joke. Ah, Bobcat, PI work it's a myth. I'll tell you another myth is having a pilot's license. I've met some of the dumbest people in my life that are pilots, including myself. Oh, animal rescues. That's good too. I like that too. Yeah, police department. That's kind of a mixed bag. Yeah, Showtime. Oh, Victory Inn. Yeah, that was a federal case. Yep, they shut that down. Yeah, that same guy owned a couple Red Roof Inns as well. Yeah, once the feds lock their horns into you, you're done. I had a PI buddy of mine get indicted 25 years ago, almost 30 years ago. And an attorney wanted $40,000 down back then. Federal charges, they'll break you, and they had a lot of resources. Acapulco, all right. Now, Julian, a lot of crime down there, right? Yeah, Tim, I need to ramp up and figure out something that we can do on this Detroit thing, some kind of way. Everybody, at least give it a shot. I'm willing to work for free. Ken, over half of them are dead. More than half in 3 years are dead, murdered or OD'd. Oh, okay, Julian. Interesting. But doesn't Acapulco have quite a bit of crime? Oh, okay, Jen. Cool. Gauntlet. Interesting. Uh, hey, Nate. What's going on? Welcome. Yeah, Detroit is fascinating. I agree. Taz, you ought to try and make it there sometime. Taz, have you ever got a chance to make it over to the States? Oh, Julian, I believe that. Yeah. Shante, no kidding. Shante, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of infidelity, drinking problems. It's not what you think. I mean, there's some good people, but it's not a bunch of teetotalers. Although that industry's calmed down a lot. All right, Positive Crystal, great. Yeah, Jen, I'm trying to like get together something that's worth a try. Oh, okay, Julian. Julian, you got a lot. You have a lot of drugs down there. Have those Mexican cartels infiltrated? I just got an email from YouTube that says there's going to be limited or no ads for the penny video. Good night, Ron. Oh, wow. No kidding, Tim. Yeah, I believe that, Taz. I know what you mean. It's funny how places are sold to people or what they glean from what they see in the media. Where's that at, Showtime? No, most of them don't, Shante. Nope, most of them don't. By the time you get there, it's over. I hate to say it. Yeah, I've heard that before. I know some. We've got a guy from where I live that built a house in not Acapulco. What the hell's the name of that? Cabo. And I've heard stories from down there. You can't nail everything down. Finkel and Telegraph. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, Kai. Yeah, Philip, welcome. Yeah, it's usually not this good, to tell you the truth. Yeah, Jen, you're right. Yeah, I'm with you, Nate. Shantae, how long have you been a flight attendant? That's hard work. Yeah, positive. You're right. I believe that, positive, Crystal. Hey, Chuyan, is that like, do you hate going to work or is it interesting? Okay, Shantae, cool. Yeah, I know all about that flight attendant stuff. You got to bust your ass. You got to be there 20 years before you start making a decent living. Yeah, Jay, you nailed it. Misery loves company. Hey, Taz, have you got a chance to travel? Shantae, so you got tired of being an RN and turned into a flight attendant? Okay, Julian, yeah. Everybody thinks Acapulco is just pina coladas and walking on the beach. Yeah, do it. Do it, Taz. I'd love to go to Ethiopia and just hang out, do volunteer work or something. Yeah, sure, Bobcat, no problem. I even tell people if they want to use my videos, they're welcome to, but send me an email and let me know where you're going to use it because YouTube is really ramping up on canceling channels that steal videos. And I want to make sure I have a good record. And when they approach me about somebody using a video, that I know what I'm talking about, who can't, who I've said it was okay to do, which would be basically everybody, and who just stole them. Pros and cons, yep. Oh, okay, Taz. All right, Nate. Yeah, great. Now that one under Nate, is that Russian? Oh, cool, Shante. That's interesting. Oh, cool, Taz. Good for you, Jen. I bet you're good at it. Yeah, I believe that. Attractive women down there. Taj, you ought to try and make it to the States. Now, Taj, do you run into a lot of fellow Ethiopians in New Zealand or not really? Yeah, JU, this is a better than normal chat for sure. Oh, okay. Now, Taz, it's none of my business, and you can just not answer the question, but now, are you married or single? Oh, that is so great, Shante. Good for you. Yeah, Nate, this is exceptional. Yeah, well, Chuyan, they market, Acapulco is getting raped and murdered now to the people that want to travel there from the United States. So it would make sense that their tourism is down. All right, Jen. Oh, married. Okay. So dating or anything like that wouldn't be an issue. I just wondered if you were single, what that would be like. Oh, a son and a daughter. Congratulations. Now, Taz, you realize the effects of a good education. Are your kids in private or public schools? Yeah, Bobcat. I worry about that too with coyotes. Yep. Okay, Taz, great. Super. I think if I had young kids and I was trying to educate them about drugs, I'd probably take them to a cemetery and look at the dates on the tombstones. Hey, Julian, no kidding. It's that much of a safety concern, huh? Wow. Hey, Julian, so that criminal record doesn't cause you any problems down there, huh? Oh, that's interesting, Taj. Yeah, I bet you're a great mother. Yeah, Ken, Rouge Bridge is underneath there is really interesting. I always thought I would find a body or something, but actually kind of benign. Just that used to be a nice park, Foreman Park. You can see all the mature trees. Oh, great, Taz. I'm glad you got something out of it. Oh, good for you, Jen. Oh, sorry about that, J.U. Oh, oh, okay, Julian. Okay, great. Yeah, we had a well-respected OBGYN up here that's a Mexican that went to Mexican medical school that was really respected by the medical community. He's out in New Mexico now. Yeah, Taz, I wish, I hope that's something you would be kind enough to ponder about. And I don't know. I'm down there a lot. I'm at a loss for words. The academic approach doesn't seem to work. Drug rehab is iffy, although there's a lot of red tape connected to it. I would give my life to find a good answer for that question. Good night, Positive Crystal. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, that's all right. I can swing it right now, Taz. I appreciate you bringing that up, but I'll be able to do it. Thank you, Nate. Appreciate it. Hey, Mike, how you doing? We got a great late night chat going on. Well, thank you, JB. Appreciate it. A lot of Australians, New Zealand. We've got Taz on here. This is beautiful. You're right, Dizzy. What usually happens is just a bad home life, abuse. Jen, to be honest with you, they don't ever seem to need clothes. If you look at like the old Marguerite videos, people are giving her clothes all the time. Oh yeah, Jay, you're right. God, man, I feel so bad for people. Just a lot of lost souls. Mike, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for checking in this late. Wow, good for you, Julian. You landed on your feet. We've been talking about everything. A lot of interesting people all over the globe. New Zealand, Australia, Canada. Beautiful. Hey, Michael, how are you? A guy was asking me your name that worked for that Jewish guy that owns that big paper company from Australia. Yeah, sounds like it, Ken. I'm glad things are working out for you. Good for you, JU. I believe it. Oh, Nate. Safety does cost money. I agree. Yeah, not really, Mike. It's really YouTube, man. I would never admit to doing anything because I haven't. There's 4 videos that put me on the map, and all I did was turn the on button on and ask questions. I will never take credit for any of this because I was just a guy with a camera. Honest to God, man, that's all I did. Thank you, Showtime. Appreciate you. Checking anytime. Really appreciate it. I think you're right, Dizzy. I would agree with that 100%. I tell people all the time, it's so much easier to go back to the street and selling yourself and being stoned than it is to try to get a regular 9-to-5 job. It's hard to explain. Bye, Showtime. Anthony Pratt, that's exactly right. He worked for Anthony Pratt for 15 years. Yeah, Julian, I believe that. Good for you. I'm happy for you. Yeah, becomes the norm. I would agree, Jane. Oh, Mike, I appreciate that, Retro Mike. Yeah, Daisy's a sweet dog. Yeah, Jen, I'm with you. There's got to be, it almost seems like there's no solution because these women that work These drug addicts have just been left behind from day one up until now. It's just a Band-Aid solution. Yeah, okay, 36 years. Interesting. Yeah, I think I'm going to try and get down to Detroit this week, to tell you the truth. Yeah, I want to get down to Detroit this week. Yeah, that's interesting, Michael. This guy is down in Madison, Georgia. You know, Pratt's got an interest close to there. Yeah, I want it to be warmer if possible. Oh, Nate, wow. Yeah, I believe that. You know, I ran into cricket back in December. That cricket video could haunt me because people think she's underage and she's not. I just got an email from YouTube telling me they're not going to let advertisers advertise on Penny's video. Limited or no advertising. Yeah, Jen, I would agree with you on that. Yeah, bury the bone. I'll say a prayer for you. Sure will. You got a lot of support here as well. Yeah, that Pratt is loaded, Michael. Yeah, Taz, it didn't work out. I talked to keep in contact with two of the daughters. It's just a very dysfunctional family. It's never going to work. I shouldn't say never going to work. It's unlikely it's going to work. There's a reason why they were estranged. Yeah, everything is offensive. Oh, YouTube big time. They sure are, which in a lot of ways is good. But there are going to be some innocent casualties. Yeah, thank you, Ken. Any ideas? I'm all ears. Ken, the guy I know is Marty McClellan. He owns a corrugated paper company down there in Madison. Super good guy. I met him through eBay. Now, you guys are going to think this is going to sound like absolutely crazy, but let me tell you something that I've considered. Like, I've had a good life most of my life. Never did an illicit drug. Had successful businesses, had a pilot's license, blah, blah, blah. Did well in business for years, but the last 10 years haven't been that good. I've often thought about just going down there to make a statement, just trying to infiltrate the homeless and the people that I've interviewed, that area, and just living that way for 6 months and just doing videos the whole time I was down there. Yeah, Nate, I kind of agree with you. I just think in order for there to be rich, there have to be poor. And that's just the way it's going to be. Other than that, there's really no standard to gauge things by. Hey, no kidding, Julian. That's interesting. I know in the gangs in Detroit, like St. Rita's Church in Southwest Detroit, the priests had actually had meetings with the gang members, and you'll never see any graffiti on any of those Catholic churches around that area. Yeah, I'd like to, Tim. I really would. There's really nothing to it, though, Tim. I mean, you couldn't really even live in there. Probably get lung cancer. I say that, but I've never met more 100-year-old people in my life than people that live in Delray. Yeah, JU, there's an element of truth to that. Yeah, I never knocked the Mexicans, not at all. You look at Southwest Detroit around Delray, if it wasn't for the Mexicans, that place would be a total dump. Yeah, I hate to admit to that, Taz. I mean, that was never my intention. I was just doing innocent interviews on things that I found compelling that I wanted to talk about. And the interviews with the women speak for themselves. I'm glad for it, but it's their testimony that made it all worthwhile. And if people get something out of it, that's great. I have retro Mike. That's true. I'm 100% behind the Mexicans. I catch a lot of crap because I refer to them as Mexicans when I should say it's Hispanics. Oh, wow, Jen, that's interesting. I've got some pretty good freighter video up there in Port Huron. Michelle, it's just a chat board. Yeah, Tim, you're right. Yep, that's true. Yeah, man, if you guys, I am so enthused about getting any feedback from anybody who watches this on what they think I could do. I'm thinking about just taking 6 months and just donating all my time to getting interviews from women and just going full tilt. Oh, okay, Julian, thank you. Thinking I'm just going to go full forward on interviewing women in that area and just whatever happens, happens. Oh, cool, Tim. Oh, that's cool, Jen. That's great. Yeah, it's a great place to watch freighters, especially in the evening as those freighters just turn to the left and that setting sun strikes against the side of the freighter. It's beautiful. Yeah, J.U., you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, Tim. You know, I'll tell you, I got this private detective deal all set up. I've done that my whole life. I just can't do it. I got all the printed stuff. I just applied for a job with the state to investigate people that were abusing kids, just for something different. Oh, Mike, this is as good as it gets. This is definitely, since I've done chat boards, the best one ever. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I think I'll do that, Taz. I appreciate it. Not at all, Shante. Zero. Zip. Not 1%. Nope. Not at all. I may be naive, but that's all right. But I really need people like you guys to, like, just while you're driving to work or laying in bed, just think of things that somebody hasn't done yet. I just don't want to go out and repeat what's been done already. Not usually, Mr. Nelson. If you look at the interview with Cricket, uh, the young-looking girl, that was about as bad as it gets. But no, but I only get about 1 out of 10 people I ask. It's a very low batting average. Well, Frederick, what I do is I'll pay him $10 to $20, but I give him money every time I see him unrelated to videos. Those women I had given money to before I ever even started doing videos. And not only that, I give them all the money that their video garners, and sometimes more. As an example, Tassie, whose videos I took down because she asked me to, I paid her twice as much as her video made because I didn't want her thinking that I ripped her off. Yeah, that's all right, Tass. Thank you, but I think I can swing it. It wasn't that much money to Tassie, like 150 bucks or something. But her video only made 75. Because of the nature of the interviews, I have limited advertising. I'm not making a killing like most of the people are that have popular videos. I just got an email tonight from the video I did with Penny saying that it was limited to no advertising because of the content. What are you going to do? That's right, Julian. Okay, Jen, great. We'll be waiting for you. Yeah, thanks, Frederick. I mean, I don't take any credit for this. Yeah, got to think out of the box. That's true. Oh yeah, I have a lot of critics. That's for sure. I have plenty of enemies on eBay, YouTube. Yeah, Chewy, and you're right. No, real stories don't pay. I agree 100%. I don't know. If I was guessing, unfortunately, when I rounded the corner on the Penny interview, I said, "Hey, what are you doing out here?" And she said, "Oh, just sucking cock." It was so sad. And if you watch the video, I said, "No, don't talk like that. You're not going to do that." Well, I'm sure that was enough to ding me on any advertising dollars. And in a way, I kind of understand it. If you're paying YouTube 50 grand a year to advertise your Christian Bible camp, I doubt that you want somebody watching that video. I mean, I'm happy for YouTube to just let me have a platform for people to watch the videos, even if I don't get a dime. So I really am not upset about it. But it sucks. If she wouldn't have said that, I probably would have never had a problem. Yeah, their algorithm does suck. You're right. Yeah, I know, JU, but look, if it wasn't for YouTube, nobody'd know any of this. Yeah, too boring, David. I don't give a shit how millionaires got their money. I'm more interested in grassroots type stuff. Yeah, Nate. Hey, I'm all ears. I want you to think about this. Yeah, appreciate it, Ken. Half of them by screwing over. I had a guy take me when I first moved down to Florida. I had a guy take me over to Palm Beach, and Palm Beach is like unbelievable. And after we got done driving around the island, he said, "Do you know how many people got screwed for these people to be able to afford these houses?" Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, thanks, Sydney. You're not the only one, but I catch a lot of bullshit over those videos. And rather than answer questions, I delete negative comments. On some of those videos, the children of these women see the videos. I don't want them reading that kind of crap. Yeah, I think you're right, Disney. I'll go along with that. Yeah, true. I've never been a weed guy. I've never even tried it, to tell you the truth. Yeah, not all future videos. That's right, Shantae. But I'm not going to ruin the heat of a moment during an interview because someone decides to say something. If that's the way it goes, that's the way it goes. And I'm not going to whore myself out for subscribers and views. I'm not going to do it. Wow, Julian, good for you. Find me a place. Oh, thank you, Frederick. That means a lot coming from someone like you that works in the inner city. Lift, yeah. Let me know. Appreciate it. Contact me and I'd be glad to hear about them. Thank you, Dizzy. Yeah, hey, I'm not kidding you guys, man. I'd like everything from the heroin addict all the way up to the PhD. I'm all ears, because one thing I know for sure is all these great academic institutions haven't been able to figure it out. And they're all good students, great degrees, advanced education, and we still have the same problem. Yeah, I love Hamtramck, Mike. Sydney, honestly, no purpose. I mean, other than tonight, I generally don't care for live streams and let somebody else just kind of run them. Tonight I just thought I'd log on before I go to bed, and this has been the best one ever. Just kind of talking to people in different parts of the world. Yeah, Julian, gasoline. What are they getting you a gallon down there? Thank you, Nate. I appreciate it. Glad you come on here and check things out. I mean, if chats went like this more often, I'd be on here all the time. Oh, and that's great. Nip lift. That is super. Yeah, it was a great stream, Ken. I agree 100%. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. It was a great stream. This is super. You, Taz, great. Mike, doesn't get any better than this. Nate. Oh, I think that would be very good, Mike. I would think that would be excellent. Oh, I bet the seafood is good. Though it's warm water seafood, Julian, and overall, the articles I've read, cold water's better, but I may be wrong. Thank you, Shadow. I appreciate it. Shante, it's great having you, a flight attendant and a nurse. Hope you continue to contribute. Thank you. But this has by far been my best chat ever. And it was just right before I went to bed, and I thought, why not? This is absolutely excellent, man. It really made my day. Yeah, this is unusual. We get this kind of group this late at night. Yeah, Nate, this is great, isn't it? I'm glad you were here to experience this kind of chat tonight. This is super. Appreciate it. This really means a lot. Tim, I'm glad you're here too, because you're in Retro Mike. You two guys have been around for a long time, and it's nice to have you on the ground floor, like be a part of this. I believe that, Julian. I believe that. You wait, Tim and Mike. There's going to be a payback for this. I know there is. That's good. There's going to be something that's really going to come out of this. It's going to be good for both you guys. I mean this. I know this is going to happen. Yeah, I know you are, man. You're a good guy too. So is Tim. And this is going to work out, man. This couldn't happen in a million years. I mean, I've never been a guy to talk about meeting, but this is like special. Yeah, Daisy too. Yeah, you're right. Nah, Dizzy, I really did not, although, I mean, I take no credit for any of this. I turned the camera on, and it was a personal interest. If it wasn't for the women, we wouldn't be talking right now. I give them 100% credit for everything. There's 4 videos of mine that took off. Thank you, Shante. Please come around again and contribute. I appreciate you being here. This is great. If it wasn't for these interviews with these women, we wouldn't be talking. They're the reason for all of this. Yeah, I'm going to do it, Mike. I am going to do it. Yeah, it is sad, Julian. I know you do, Tim. You're going to be a part of it. You can count on it. Yeah, Shante is great. This is a super contributor. Oh, that is cool. Yeah, flip. Yeah, not really, Dizzy. I mean, I liked it, man. I did. It wasn't anything careless. Sydney, I'm working on that now. You know, we just don't want to bullshit people. I tried GoFundMe. It's a pain in the ass. 9 out of 10 people that want to help never do. I don't know what to do on that. I need help with that. I want something to really happen. When people donate money, I try and hook them up with the women directly, or I'll cash a check they send me, and I will videotape when I donate the money to the women they request me to. I don't want any fees or bullshit. I want it to be just straight up and they get 100%. But right now, nothing's really in place. Oh wow, Julian, $3 a lobster. Wow. I'm trying, Tim. I really am, but I need help on this. Pat's a sweetheart. I talked to her for an hour tonight. Yeah, Taz, I sure will do that. I've tried GoFundMe. It was a lot of trouble. I ended up collecting money and ended up eating the 8% and paid everybody back because I went down there for 2 months and didn't see any of the women. It's hit or miss. Yeah, Taz, you've been a pleasure to come on here tonight. Thank you very much. You really put the cherry on the top. It's just super interesting, being Ethiopian and the way you ended up in New Zealand. And I'm sure you're a great parent. It's people like you that will really give the upper edge to trying to figure out a solution. Thank you. Oh, I don't mind them taking some of the money, but Sydney, they take 8%, they hold your money. You can't get it when you want, and you have to give them your social security number. So I've got to explain this on my tax return. It's just a super pain in the ass. Yeah, well, we'll figure that out down the road, J.U. I want you to think about that tonight when we sign off, because I'm a long way from figuring out a viable solution. I don't mind them charging, Tim. It's their other stuff. You might be right about that, Julian. Nate, you're one of the diamonds on here. Thank you. Bye, Taz. Yeah, well, Frederick, I appreciate it. I mean, I never thought of my videos. Taz, you didn't need to do that, you sweetheart. I appreciate it. I'll pay it back to you. I don't know what I'll do with it. Taz is a class act. Yeah, Frederick, it's funny you should say that because I haven't lived with my wife in about 20 years, and that's what she said. I'm glad that it came off that way. If I knew I was doing that, I'd have probably done more of them by now. Yeah, it is, because it's not me that's really getting the income. And it's kind of a weird write-off as a donation. Such bullshit. Julian, please stay around. Comment on the videos. It's great to have you around. Don't beat anybody up too bad. Thank you for being here. Tim, this has been a great, Mike, this has been like a superb chat. Thank you too, J.U. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Glad to have you. Thanks. I think, Julian, you came on kind of talking some shit at the beginning, and We just respected you and were nice to you, and it all worked out. So I'm glad we both stuck in there. Thank you, Ken. Yeah, Taz is a class act. Good night, Julian. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have. Oh man, I don't want these people giving me this money, Mike. Thank you, Dizzy. I mean, I'm going to give this to these women this week. I promise you, and it's going to be on video. I don't want one dime for this. Taz, no, that's very nice of you. I'll tell you where the money's going to go. It's going to go to one of these women that I interviewed this week in Detroit. And you're going to see it, and I'm going to tell them it's from you when I hand it to them. Thank you very much. You're a class act. Your children are lucky to have you as a mother. Wish I had a mother like you. God, this just makes me want to cry. Such a sweetheart. Bought me dinner. I'm going to buy them some stuff. Oh, wow, Tim. Tim, I was actually ranked in the 80s as a full contact kickboxer by the ISKA. Jalazy Taylor, hello, how are you? You're a good girl, honey. You're a good girl, honey. Thank you, Julian. Great having you around. Hey, Jazzy, stay around. You'll figure it out. Yeah, isn't that something? Yeah, I was really into that stuff for a while. Oh, good for you, Jazzy. That's good. Gotta have a special part in my heart for animal lovers. Hey, but Tim and Mike, man, we got to do something out of the box, man. I really don't think that I can think of this because I've thought of it since I've been doing these interviews. I can't come up with something different. I don't know what the hell to do. Whether we should just go to these women and offer a sponsorship from someone that views the channel, or what? Oh, okay, yeah. It's because I've been drinking wine. That's why. Then I won't say it right when I'm sober. Yeah, I appreciate it. I hope you do, man, because I really, I don't know any more now than I did before I did my first interview. I don't know what to do. Oh, good for you, Jay. That's great. I paid for 19 cats to get spayed and neutered. It's a trap and release program so they don't keep having kittens, which wasn't easy because I love birds. Yeah, Tim, but yeah, maybe that is a good idea, Taz, I'm telling you, here's the problem with rehab in the United States. There's too much red tape. It's just all sorts of bullshit and restrictions, and they can't talk to their friends. They take away their cell phone. They can't have any visitors. I mean, you don't need to wonder why they don't go to rehab when you find out all the red tape involved. I wish I could just send them to an island like Eric Clapton's rehab. I don't know. I got to figure this out. Yeah, that's true, Tim. I have to kill her. Not really my birds, because I make sure that I have their food up high. And I actually shoveled a bunch of snow so they couldn't sneak up on them if they were going to try and leap up to the feeder. But in general, you're right. Oh, that's cool, Bury the Bone. Yeah, I love Willow Run. Rich history. It's where Ford made the bombers. Yeah, it's true, Mike. It's true. That's just part of what you got to do to get there. If it was easy, there wouldn't be a problem. But what's most interesting to me is these, mega think tanks and these uh, institutions like the University of Michigan, Harvard, Yale. They can't figure it out either. Maybe they're too smart. Maybe it's too simple. But they can't. Hey, Steve, what's happening? Spread the word. Yeah, I'm going to try to. Oh, that's cool, Nate. Yeah. Man, we got cats running all over around here. Oh, hydromatic. No kidding, huh? Yeah, I got a video on there when they were tearing it down. I worked at the plant right across the street there for a couple of years as a security guard. Yeah, it's sad. Hey, Tim, I hired in there in 1981 with a starting salary at $36,000 a year. Great benefits. And I only worked there a year because the PI thing started taking off. But shit, the $36,000 a year job is great now. Now, and I was getting one back in 1981. That shows you how far things have fallen. I believe that, Dizzy. I think you're right. 30 years at Hydromatic, no kidding, huh? Huh. Yeah, it was a factory that made a ton of money for years in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Yeah, I'm from Flat Rock, Steve. No way, Shadow. You're right. Nowhere near. And if you count inflation, it's even worse. Yeah, bury the bone. Yeah, you got in at the probably the last part of the good days. That's sad, man, how that place went down the tubes. Not like what people are used to, Sydney. No. It's the standard of living that people knew about that just they're not going to achieve it any longer. Yeah, Steve, how old are you? How old are you? Dead. That's right, Tim. 20. Yeah, you're young. I used to spend a lot of time over there in Trenton, around that area. Trenton was a lot better in the 70s than it is now. It's still a pretty good place to live, but it's not what it was then. That was the creme de la creme, borderline upper middle class. Thank you, Taz. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Taz, let me give you my email, okay? I'm gonna write down my email now. Please keep in touch. I'll be tapping you for information. I just typed in my email. Thank you. It's been a pleasure having you here. Yeah, Steve, it was a much different time. Steve, you're of the age where you heard about these lifestyles, but you never got to experience any of it. Thanks, Taz. Thank you. It's been great having you here. Yeah, Dizzy, those days are over. Well, they're really not over. There's actually better muscle cars coming out now than there ever were. Shadow 82, no kidding, huh? Huh. Yeah, Taz was really a diamond add-on tonight. Dizzy, which one did you get? Which V8 did you buy? Oh, I can tell you everything about Lincoln Park during the good days. Sure have. Steve, have you ever got those kick-ass tacos on Allen Road north of Southfield at that taco place? Dizzy, you talking about a 35 millimeter or a video camera? Oh, no kidding. Fort and what, Steve? Fort and what? Oh, that's cool, Nate. All right, way to go. Oh, south of Southfield, cool. I'll tell you a business down there, Steve, that still makes a shitload of money is that Painter Supply. Yeah, they make a killing. You want to go, Betty? You want to go out and do one more pee-pee? You want to go out and go do one more pee-pees? You want to go out and go pee-pee? You want to go pee-pee? Good girl. Go out there and do one more pee-pee. Go on, go pee-pee on. Go pee-pee on. Go pee-pee, Annie. Go on. Go pee-pee on. Good girl. Go on. Good girl, honey. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Get in here. Hey, get in here. Come on. Daisy. Come on, girl. Hey. Daisy. Come on, honey. Daisy. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, honey. Yeah, she's up late too. Yeah. Yeah, it's my dog, Nate. Thank you, Sydney. Appreciate you being around. It's great. Nah, she'll chase him if she sees him. They're all hidden tonight, you know. Well, I think I'm going to sign off to you guys, man. I'm tired. I got to get up halfway early tomorrow. The damn stupid insurance company was using the wrong VIN number on my license plate. It's kind of a mix, JU, with Shih Tzu and something else. I don't know what. They're going to cancel my plate in 10 days if I don't straighten this out. So I've got to go to an insurance company tomorrow that I don't no longer use. It's just a pain in the ass. So I usually work out in the morning, but I have to postpone that. So I got to get to bed at a decent hour. Thanks, Mike. It was great. It was a good night tonight. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. It was super. Glad you witnessed it. Thank you, Shadow. Super. It was really a good time tonight. Thank you. All right, Tim. Yeah, be on tomorrow night sometime. Thank you, JU. Super. Stradivari Street. Leper Leap. All right. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Barry the Bone. I appreciate it. You guys have a good night. Good night's sleep. And please check in anytime. It's been a superb night, better than average. It's a very interesting chat. And without people listening and involving themselves, it would have just been a turned on computer. Thanks, Mike. Good night, Nate. Thanks a lot. And thanks to the people that just listened and didn't talk. It's just as important. Thank you. Good night.